Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new vid of Fox Reacts. Today we're checking out the kind of an old vid from Outside Xtra about 7 bosses who beat themselves for you, Commentor Edition. Meaning these are 7 bosses that weren't in the original vid. And I say old because look at this. April 20th of last year. Whew. But hey.
Recently,
Let's
we
go.
placed under our YouTube microscope the video game bosses who basically defeated themselves for you, the total chumps.
It's always great when a boss very much does the
Lol,
work
good
for
effort, Crush from Spyro. But the real chumps was us all along, because
look,
upon
the Hollow
looking at the
Knight.
comments on that video, we realised there were so many more jaw-dropping examples of bosses who own themselves with you barely having to lift a finger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, these bosses who beat themselves for you are all your suggestions. Enjoy and beware spoilers
These
for
are
the following
player
games.
suggestions. Spoilers for Borderlands, Hollow Knight, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Spider-Man, Sonic CD, Ghost, Super Mario Bros. 3. Okay, let's see who's on the list.
I'm honestly scared out of my mind right now, but you still haven't
Professor
totally stopped me.
Nakayami?
My ship complete with
Nakayami?
one last sample of Jack's DNA in the most
That's what I'm gonna say, that. Nakayami.
Pandora's ever seen. The only way to truly stop me is to come to my ship and kill me. Wait, why did I tell you that?
Because you're an idiot.
What a rubbish evil genius you are. Good God, man, show some backbone. Throw some sarcastic taunts at us or something.
What? No, the Vault Hunter just killed a bunch of my guys and now they're gonna ruin my plan. I'm scared out of my mind.
If you are going to set out
no
to be an
wonder
evil
you die
villain
so
with an
easily.
evil plan, it's so important to project a sense of confidence. Unfortunately, that confidence is exactly what the sinister Professor Nakayama from Borderlands 2
Okay, it is
DLC Sir
Nakayama.
Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt is lacking.
Can I
Well,
just
that's
say
kind of obvious, the way
super
he's
up to our arch
talking.
enemies now?
The nervous Nakayama also earns himself a spot on this list, as a great many of you pointed out in the comments of our last video, including
Okay.
Cameron Laurie, who said, "It's an absolute travesty Professor Nakayama from Borderlands 2 isn't on this list."
I mean, yeah,
well,
the guy
let's right
dies,
that terrible
well,
wrong.
way
Nakayama
too
pops
easily.
up
He
early on in
trips.
this DLC questline, interrupting what was supposed to be a routine hunting expedition with Sir Hammerlock, or as
No.
routine a hunting expedition as you can get when the prey is a vast alien scorpion.
Yeah.
Jolly good show.
It soon becomes apparent there'll be no
Sweet.
rest until Nakayama is neutralized, starting with demolishing the
Oh,
DNA
look at
samples he's storing in his lab, before he can use them to clone Borderlands 2 archenemy.
Look at that. Destroy DNA sample. Destroy backup DNA sample. Destroy emergency backup DNA sample. Come on, how much DNA do you need?
Handsome Jack.
Ah, yes. That's one of my mysterious DNA samples. The levels of my incredible secret planet will never,
Dude.
ever forget.
Crabtrap already told us you're planning to clone Handsome Jack.
Son of a bitch.
Nakayama's total ineptitude means
Dude,
you'll never
you're
feel
the
too
idiot.
outfaced by the obstacles he puts in your path, even when those obstacles
Okay.
are giant metal monsters with Handsome Jack's horrifyingly
Oh, that
cloned
is-
face.
That is no.
I put a lot of work into this plan and make a Jack creature. Freaking throw
That
it
is
at me.
that is just terrible.
Oh my god, you killed him so easily. Oh, that's
Didn't really kill him easily, but we'll take the compliment.
Or Nakayama's most ambitious creation, Jackenstein. Or should that be Jackenstein's monster? I literally don't care, but what is important to know is that Jackenstein is a building-sized abomination that, once again, has
Jeez.
itself a tiny handsome Jack face. Ew, Nakayama, this
Why?
Jack obsession is getting a little weird.
That
With Jackenstein out the way,
Jackenstein is
it's
dead.
time for the
Good.
final showdown, against a suddenly
Alright,
much
here
more
we go.
confident Professor Nakayama. And here it is.
You may be a walking apocalypse,
show us what you got.
but I've got my brains and my guns and this ship. I may just have a chance again.
And dead.
Simpler Revolt Hunter.
Okay, maybe that was a little too much confidence.
That was way too easy. The Hollow Knight? Wait, how does he kill himself? Oh boy. Still kind of epic. Oh, hold on,
In
folks.
olden
We got an ad. We're back.
Fights were against a big skeleton or something, and you didn't have to think too hard about what exactly was going on, and you know what? That was fine.
That looks cool. What is
Of
this,
course,
from
that
Contra?
wouldn't cut it in eerie, hard-as-nail platformer Hollow Knight, a game about exploring a decaying insect kingdom. Every moment is tinged with an aching sense of melancholy, a sad
Yes,
vibe that
it
extends
is.
to some of its boss battles, as commenter Nebulon475 notes.
weirdly
Bosses who beat
beautiful.
themselves for you. Hollow Knight stabs self in corner. The boss known as the
Eh?
Hollow Knight is encountered
Huh.
in the game's final moments,
What do you mean?
and those who piece together the game's lore will learn its tragic backstory as the creation of a king who, like every ruler of a fantasy kingdom before him, has to contend with a magical plague that has ravaged the land.
In this case, the Radiant.
The Hollow Knight was supposed to be born
Weirdly,
with no mind of its
god
own, a
virus.
vessel inside whom the plague could be sealed, though it clearly didn't go great judging by how freely that infection seems to be pouring out of its stomach.
Yeah. I mean, it was going
It's that
well until it
infection that earns the
cracked.
poor Hollow Knight a spot on this list, because as the battle progresses, it will start violently stabbing itself in a jaw-droppingly unpleasant attempt to combat the disease.
Look at this. It weirdly just does start stabbing. Like, look at
Which,
that.
I mean,
Why?
saves you some of the trouble of stabbing it, but it's hard to be grateful when this is so tough to watch.
Ugh. It's kind of
I sure
brutal,
hope that big
really.
skeleton didn't have anything so tragic going on. You know, we never thought to ask.
I mean, you're bonding it, so... Master Koga? Oh, it's this guy. Napping
The
spot.
Yiga clan of Breath of the Wild are many things. Lethal assassins, masters of disguise, experts
Mighty
teleporters,
bananas.
and strong enough to fell even a
I don't know why
legendary
that's
hero
funny.
of Hyrule given half a chance.
Yeah, that's why I went and defeated the elephant. That way I
What
could
the
have,
Yiga clan is
have
not,
the,
however, is
instant
good at
reheal
electing
at
a
all.
leader to run its shadowy organisation, which you will quickly determine when you meet the boss of this assassin's guild and find that he is, for want of a more eloquent phrase, basically an idiot.
You're the Link guy I've been looking for. Yeah.
Master Koga, or to give him his proper introduction, the strong, the burly, the one, the only Master Koga, of course wants you dead. And so a boss
Jeez,
battle
man.
ensues, one where the theme could probably be summed up as not learning from mistakes.
And...
As
Look at
commenter Tetra Kitty recalls, Master Koga,
Man, this
that guy
guy's an
literally
idiot.
gives you the metal balls to hit him with, not remembering what happened just seconds before. Koga's special skill is summoning gigantic boulders, and to
so
be fair,
stupid.
he's very good at it. But if we were to suggest an area for improvement, it would be not spending quite so much time directly under the enormous rocks that he himself summons.
Yeah, why not? Or even just better yet, have spawn
You'd
and
think
throw.
Koga would start to mix it up a little upon finding
Could
that
just
his
do that.
boulder summoning moves tend to end up with him buried up to his waist in dirt, while an exceptionally strong young man jabs an electrified spear into his behind.
And... Oh, I see for that one.
And to be fair, he does change tactics in this boss battle's final phase,
alright.
this time summoning
got?
a boulder covered in metal spikes, presumably not having read any of the reports the Yiga clan surely
Oh,
put across
here we
his
go.
desk that detail how Link is spectacularly good at dealing with metal things.
Huh. I just realized, is the
Having
Yiga
beaten
clan's,
Koga using his own summoned boulder,
the symbol of the Yiga clan, like here on his mask, is that just a Seeker symbol turned upside down? Huh. You know, I guess that would make sense.
you could arguably say this boss kicked his own butt for you. Or you could just wait until the
I
very
mean,
end
yeah.
of this battle, where he inarguably does exactly that.
Uh-huh. See, look at that. And the moment he drops it, it rolls to him. And not just out of my line of sight. There it is. There's the roll.
Time for the Yiga clan to elect a new leader.
And
they were
he's
desperate
dead.
for the chance,
Good.
frankly.
Good. Oh well.
Black Cat! Oh, I'm so glad it's you.
Good to see you too, big boy, but you got a problem.
Whoa.
Venom's got control of the Jumbotron in Times Square. He's been ranting for hours with a message for you.
Venom's ugly face on that big screen? Now that's scary.
That's not all. Rhino's on a rampage over at Omnitech as well.
What is this, the bad guy Olympics? Look, Times Square's on the way to Omnitech. Let's find out what Venom's up to.
It's hardly the best Spider-Man game, but Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1 is still an interesting curio. For instance, did you know that it was made by the same developers who made the critically acclaimed Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Really?
If you know where to look, the subtle clues are there. Damn it, Neversoft! Now Tony Hawk is Marvel canon! What if they need him to play Namor the Submariner? The game is also interesting for a prime example of a boss who defeats themselves, and commenter Kirk Spicer knows exactly which Spidey villain is lining up to kick their own butt. Rhino from the 2000 Spider-Man game. The boss battle occurs when Spidey heads to Omnitech to save imperiled civilians, leaving Spider-Man and Black Cat to ponder just one question.
Where's Rhino?
Where's Rhino? Stab.
Oh, there he is. Rhino is a fearsome adversary, or
and
he would be if he wasn't clinically incapable of not charging directly at Spider-Man, regardless of whether Spider-Man is standing right in front of a generator pumping out enough watts to light up Manhattan.
And there you go.
Astoundingly, this works again and again and again.
Again and again and again and again. Works literally
Clueless
enough
Rhino
well,
each time knocking chunks out of his own health bar without your friendly neighbourhood webhead having to lift a finger, which is just as well because in this game Spider-Man doesn't have fingers.
My responsibility to use my powers for others before myself, no matter what the cost.
Perhaps it's not surprising that this Rhino defeating trick works over and over. After all, you're unlikely to make increasingly good decisions the more electricity you have pumped directly into your face. Seriously, Spider-Man, this is starting to feel a little sadistic.
Hey, did you get a charge out of that?
Stop joking around, Spider-Man. You're killing him.
He's the one charging. Spidey isn't doing anything. He's just standing there and jumping. And Rhino's the one that's going, right into the generator. Oh,
we have many
and we're back.
Questions about Dr. Robotnik, mostly about moustache maintenance, but amid those burning questions is where exactly did this hot-headed scientist get his doctorate precisely?
I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world!
We suspect the answer is the National Institute of Nowhere, because frankly, if your arch-nemesis is a hedgehog who is primarily famous for being able to run extremely fast, it doesn't take a PhD to know the one thing unlikely to defeat that nemesis is a treadmill.
I mean...
Yet that's exactly what Robotnik deploys to predictably little effect. In 1993 platformer Sonic CD, as commenter Patrick Hanney fondly remembers. Sonic CD has Robotnik blow himself up while you just get a nice little jog on the treadmill. Said treadmill is encountered at the end of the Quartz Quadrant and finds Robotnik ensconced in a machine as usual, but one that frankly could have used a little more time in R&D.
Look at that.
All Sonic has to do is gently boop Robotnik's booth once at the start of the fight, and it drops down to the floor, where slowly but surely the treadmill component of his worst invention ever files down the bottom of it. All you have to do is avoid the falling bombs, and Robotnik will eventually fall prey to his own awfully designed machine. Good effort, Doc.
And there.
Guess the CD stands for crappy device.
Another samurai?
You haven't heard of Lord Jinroku? He's a legendary samurai.
I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, okay.
When will he return?
Soon. Join us for dinner. Perhaps he'll share one of his crime stories with you.
They say you should fake it till you make it, but that probably doesn't apply to any situation where faking it might mean a samurai disembowels you.
They also say never meet your heroes.
But try telling that to Jinroku, one of several boss encounters to culminate in a samurai duel in Ghost of Tsushima.
It's the only way. If that's your wish, I accept.
These one-on-one tests of martial skill pit your player character Jin against many fearsome foes, all featuring the clash of blades, a desperate fight for survival, and, if you're lucky, a savage killing blow.
And boom.
But such is the lonely and violent life of the samurai, as Jin knows only too well. So you can imagine how interested our hero is to learn of a fellow warrior in the game's Izuhara region, who claims to have, like Jin, survived the brutal massacre at Komoda Beach that saw all samurai on the island slaughtered at the start of the game.
Oh, who else could survive it, huh? Sorry about that.
But it soon becomes clear that Jinroku, who's been regaling the villagers with tales of his daring exploits, is a fraud. And not a convincing one. Little tip, Jinroku, might be worth remembering the actual name of the battle you're pretending you fought in.
The beaches of Komatsu ran red with blood that terrible day.
We fought at Komoda.
Boom. Said the wrong name.
Jin quickly assesses the clues in front of him and realizes Jinroku is indeed faking it, having cobbled together some bits of armor in order to cash in on being a cool samurai and have the locals attend to his every whim.
Jinroku is no samurai. I'll get the truth from him.
Jinroku doesn't like being confronted, however, which means you have to hunt him down for another one of Ghost of Tsushima's typically stylish and dramatic duels.
I mean, the
Brace for bloodshed.
That's just Dishonor. Why not just call the mission Dishonor? Would have made a good game reference. And look.
Wait, I don't want to die. I surrender.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, that was a bit of an anticlimax. Not to mention, a boss who beats themselves for you, as commenter Tom Carrasco accurately noted. The duel at the Kashino Onsen from Ghost of Tsushima, the boss literally surrenders at the exact second the duel starts. There's a sting in the tail of the crafty Jinroku, however. Having watched him cheese it over the horizon rather than facing Jin's wrath...
Oh well.
I wasn't hurting anyone.
There's nothing for you to do except inform the villagers that their hero is in fact a liar and a scoundrel, at which point you found out that they knew, didn't mind, and actually enjoyed having him around.
He seemed harmless, and we enjoy having him around. I hope you didn't kill him.
Well,
Which
no,
makes
he's
us
alive.
Feel kind of bad for sending him packing like that.
But he ran.
Oh well, I'm sure he's totally fine out there in the wilderness. He seemed tough, right? Capable?
No.
He's for sure dead already.
Oh yeah, I was literally just about to say the same thing. Oh yeah, that's right. In this game, Bowser just defeated himself. Well, technically, he didn't really defeat himself.
Bowser first showed up in 1985, which means this Lizard King has endured a shocking 35 plus years of consistently having his ass kicked by Mario. Hardly surprising then that old Bowsy, as I assume he likes to be called, sometimes enjoys mixing it up. For instance, by kicking his own ass, as he does in Super Mario Bros. 3, as commenter the Mr. McMoo-Man aptly notes. What about Bowser in Super Mario Bros. 3? He kills himself by breaking the floor beneath him. Indeed, it must be a relief for Mario, having trekked all the way through Super Mario Bros. 3 and jumped on no end of enemies, including Bowser's Koopaling boss minions, to make it to the very final stage of the game in search of the kidnapped Princess Toadstool and find that this time Bowser is the one doing all the jumping.
Hit that one spot.
Specifically, very unwise jumping on a bridge made of bricks that shatter under the force of his scaled behind.
Once more.
So all Mario has to do is stay out of the way while the irate King of the Koopas ends the boss fight himself, the big scaly chump.
And done. That's all you had to do.
I guess the lesson of Super Mario Bros. 3 is that Bowser is even less smart than he looks. Also that he starts his letters with the word yo.
Yo,
which,
I kidnapped
I'll
the
be
princess.
honest, has improved my opinion of him.
So those are 7 bosses who beat themselves for you. Your suggestions. Can you think of any more suggestions? Pop them in the comments below. We really appreciate them. We
I would say that some of the bosses that
appreciate
defeat
you, all you folks who give us a thumbs up, and all of you who are already subscribed. You lovely, lovely folks. Hey, why not join those lovely people yourself if you haven't already by hitting that subscribe button to see way more videos like this in future, and also some fun live streams.
Well, anyway, that's what I'm gonna call it an end. And so, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video, so remember to support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time. Peace.